Hello and welcome. Today's video is gonna cover the historic move of this IS-3M tank into the new facility at the National Armor and Cavalry Collection out at Fort Benning here in Georgia. I'll explain some of the process and share a bit of its history along the way. Without further ado, let's get started. This was also the first day I ever got to see the M88 Hercules armored recovery vehicle in action. I am now obsessed. This one works with the awesome crew at the Logistics Readiness Center with the Army on base, and these guys do some great work for NACC throughout the summer and fall to help with the booth. You'll see some more of them soon. I have so much M88 footage now, it's a bit ridiculous. I can't help but click record when this beast rolls by and gets to work. The first task is to get the tank into position to pull indoors. A lot of the components of this particular tank are missing, so it weighs a bit less than its complete intended 54 tons, but it's still a chonker, and the steel tracks really bite into the concrete. This one is really difficult for the tug to move and to pivot. It also doesn't have regular tow hooks like you see on the front of tanks, and so the guys had to attach some chains to solve that problem. The initial attempts to get the tank to pivot in place so it could be brought up to the doors weren't successful. You can see a few of those following here. Here, the idea was to get the tank moving and then use its momentum to help pull it to the side. As you can see, this was not successful. The plywood you see them using here serves two purposes. One, to help the tug tow the tank by preventing the tracks from biting in, and also to protect the concrete itself from damage and getting marked up by the tracks. You can see how much easier it is to turn the tank on the plywood. Here you can see they successfully got the tank to turn. The tug driver's name is Bill. He is a longtime volunteer here, has a lot to share and a lot to teach, and works a lot of magic with this repurposed aircraft tug. We call it the Blue Moose. To save some of your time on the video, I sped up a bit of the moving footage of the tug in action. It's a longer process. This particular IS-3M was on display outside in the elements for many years at the Aberdeen Proving Grounds. In its younger years, it was sold and exported by the Soviet Union to Egypt, and then captured in the Six Days War by Israel. Israel later gifted it to the United States. Today was an important day for it, and it'll be the first day in a very long time that it gets to sit inside, and now has a permanent home here in the new facility at the National Armor and Cavalry Collection. When it's time to push the tank into its planned parking spot for display, the inability to mount the tow bars becomes, once again, a problem. The guy solved this with a MacGyver-esque solution, placing a thick block of wood on the front of the tug. It fits perfectly and lines up with the front of the IS-3M's pike nose, so this enables the tug to push it back into place. Next comes one final adjustment. And here it is in its new home. Thank you so much for watching. I want to give special thanks to the NACC for the access. This was a really cool thing to see and to be able to film. The volunteers here are amazing. It's been great to document their efforts putting the long-awaited facility for the collection all together. There were a lot of tanks and other vehicles, as well as other macro artifacts like anti-tank guns and things like that. You'll see more of it here on my channel, as well as on the NACC social pages, which I highly recommend taking a look and a follow. I put links for that down below. By the by, if you know of anyone selling a proper sprocket for the IS-3M, the museum here is looking for a spare to swap out with this interesting looking replacement it arrived with. Toss a like to your YouTuber, oh viewer of plenty. Many more of these moves, and a special video on the IS-3 design and history are on the way. Subscribe to my channel here for some more armored adventures, and I will see you next week for another video.